SuperTalk.com. Glad to be with you on Mornings with Richard Cross as we broadcast live today from West Point, Mississippi. We are at Sally Kate Winters Family Services, and we're going to talk about all the outstanding things that are happening here. Before we go any farther, though, I got to say thank you. Breakfast this morning provided by Jubilations. I just kind of timidly asked during the break, is there any coffee around here? They said, yes. Not only coffee, but muffins and sausage balls. And, Lance, I'm sorry not to be able to share with you, but the sausage balls, chef's kiss.
I wish
just
I was
outstanding.
there.
Great way to start the day.
Yeah.
I know. My apologies. I'm not trying to rub it in. But
no, I get to see you eat in the morning, so yeah. I'm
as
usually
always,
hungry.
from Jubilations. Yeah, I know. And like, I can't function without breakfast. So we are glad to welcome the biggest cheerleader for the city of West Point. Lisa Klutts joins us this morning to start things off. Executive Director at the West Point Clay County Community Growth Alliance. It is a mouthful of a title. That's why I went with cheerleader for West Point. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, doggone it. Somebody's going to yell at me for that. I got to turn your mic on. There we go. Try it again. Good morning.
Good morning.
Great to be with you.
I'm glad you're in West Point.
Thank you. It is always good to be here. We'll dive into all that is happening in and around West Point with you in just a second, but let's start with Sally Kate Winters and what this place means to this community.
You know, we can say we're a golf community with Old Waverly and the restaurants and the stores and antique shops, but it's really organizations like Sally Kate Winters that is the heart of the community.
Yeah.
Working together. We're just as known for Sally Kate Winters as we are Old Waverly and golf and Anthony's and steak, and how we all partner and work together. Businesses invest in their buildings, but Sally Kate Winters invests in children and the next generation.
And investing in people. And the
exactly.
community of West Point and the surrounding counties has rallied around Sally Kate Winters Family Services with their time, with donations, with a genuine care for the services that are being provided.
There's
here.
a huge support, not just in West Point, but in the whole region. And the Growth Alliance is a big word for the Chamber of Commerce, Main Street Association, and Tourism Office, but
sure.
we need volunteers, and the teenagers and the young adults, they come and volunteer in our office, and so they get a taste of West Point and what it takes to run a business.
We were talking about that earlier, like 3,000, give or take, volunteers that have worked either directly with or in conjunction with Sally Kate Winters. There's a partnership with Mississippi State, with students, with sororities that have kind of made this their philanthropy. There really is. Yeah, I was joking a second ago when I said you were the biggest cheerleader. There are a lot of cheerleaders, though, for Sally Kate Winters.
Oh, many. I'm a cheerleader for West Point, but that encompasses a lot of things. But there are cheerleaders out there just for Sally Kate Winters, wanting them to succeed and be a great partner in the community.
Yeah. Growth Alliance, you mentioned a second ago, that's the Chamber of Commerce, the Main Street Association, and tourism as well, all rolled into one, which means you have to wear a lot of hats and keep hats. A lot of balls in the air.
Yes.
Quite the juggler. What's going on right now?
That's a loaded question. Depends on what area. When we just had an election yesterday, 4 more years of Mayor Rod Bobo. We're excited for him to keep going with the momentum that he started 4 years ago.
He's been very supportive, right?
He is, yes. And he's progressive in making West Point the best it can be. We're doing beautification projects, really supporting businesses. I'll say one of the biggest businesses that's downtown, West Point TV and Appliance, closed after 70 years.
Oh, wow.
But somebody just purchased the building, and I mean, it's in the heart of downtown. So to have that building vacant would have been hard, but
sure.
The fact that somebody came in local and purchased the building and really wants to flip it and turn it into another use is just a testimony to how West Point is still thriving.
And when we were here last, and I think it was leading into Prairie Arts Festival to promote that last year, I know you and I talked about this, but the downtown area, the Main Street area in West Point, there's been a revitalization there. It's got life. You talked about restaurants and stores and businesses and a beautiful part of the town, and I know that's something you've worked hard on.
for about 12 years I've been in my position, and an organization called Main Street Association, Mississippi Main Street. That's really what their goals are, is to make downtowns vibrant and places to go and shop and hang out. Events like Prairie Arts Festival. We did receive some ARPA funds through Mississippi Main Street, thanks to the legislature, and we're going to rebuild the gazebo, which is we have a huge green space downtown, and a lot of downtowns don't have that. So it is a true treasure and a great asset for our town. And so it's been loved for so long. It just needs some fresh air.
Little TLC
is what I call it,
to go along with that as well. So in terms of events, we know about kind of end of the summer, going into the fall. That's when Prairie Arts Festival is there. That's one of those things that you have to plan for year-round. What about in the springtime? As everything's in bloom, people are looking for a reason to get outside, looking for things to do, whether it's during the week or on the weekends. What's coming up?
Mm-hmm. Well, Easter's coming up, so that means there's Easter egg hunts, and the wisteria has just finished blooming, and that is
purple everywhere.
Yes.
It's funny you say that. My daughter was in the car, my oldest daughter, yesterday. She's like, "I love the wisteria so much. I wish it wasn't a weed." She's like, I wish there had like some green around it, and you had some little white flower blooms that went. It's everywhere though, and it's gorgeous this time of year. It's one of those weeds that we can love.
I saw that, and it was kind of reminding me of kudzu. But we have an arbor downtown in the park, and it's trained. So it's organized weed at this point. So it is beautiful and a draw to downtown. I try to stay away from the spring events personally because of the weather, the unpredictability of the weather. Yeah. So I plan an outdoor event, and it's going to rain. But I work with the farmers market. It's not downtown, but it's every Thursday in June and July. So I'm coordinating that, and really building that gazebo is a little bit outside of my comfort zone, my talent skill. So I'm learning a lot of things about construction. And
no, are you doing the actual construction? You're running, a power saw and hammers and nails and.
I like a good power drill, but no, I'm not doing it myself.
Put other people in charge of that.
That would be better, yes. But
hold on. For a gazebo to be a focal point of a major, this is a pretty significant gazebo, right? This is big?
Yes. I mean,
I don't guess I've seen, or maybe I just didn't notice the gazebo last time, but
it was right across from my office. So
okay, I'm going to check it out next time.
I'm going to need you to go around the block and see this.
Okay.
So people get married there. They have their prom pictures there. It's a focal point in the park. And it is it's historic, too.
I mean, when I think gazebo, I think like small circle-ish, but this is much larger.
And they kept expanding out, and they really called it the bandstand in the beginning.
Oh, okay.
In the early 80s. And I would like to bring that word back. That term back, because musicians and
the West Point Bandstand.
That sounds cool.
In the heart of the green space and down. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I might use that too.
There you go. What else? And then we roll toward the summer, and it's hot, like it is all over Mississippi. And then we make that transition to the fall. There's excitement about football season. I mentioned Prairie Arts Festival a second ago. So much of the community rallies around that.
Yes. And my office is really here to support anybody's events, organization, promotions. So even though I'm few on the events that I do, I'm out there promoting everybody else's.
Your to-do list, right? I mean, obviously you talk about the gazebo and the restoration of that right now, but when you look ahead to the future, a year from now, a couple of years from now, what are the projects that you want to tackle?
There's ebb and flow in downtown. Mm-hmm. Some of the business owners are getting older and ready to retire. I want to see a transition where those businesses don't close, that the next generation takes them over.
There you go.
Yeah.
That is a noble goal for the city of West Point. Lisa Klutts, Executive Director, West Point Clay County Community Growth Alliance, that encompasses tourism, Chamber of Commerce, and the Main Street Association as well. Always good to see you.
Always glad to have you.
Thanks for getting up early with us this morning.
Easy.
Lisa Klutts. Quick time out. We got more coming up with you. This is Mornings with Richard Cross on SuperTalk Mississippi. Jessie Sugg will join us next. She's the board president at Sally Kate Winters Family Services. Quick time out. More coming up.